This is the UNESCO Chair on Gender Equality and Culture, Maltepe University, Istanbul, Turkey. And I am the chair, Hülya Şimga. I'm from the philosophy department. And actually, as moving on from where Professor Renata is left, I was going to also mention those issues. Turkey has been going towards more and more conservatism, especially for the last decade or so. And there is a quite strong anti-gender movement for the last 5 years, where the words gender and gender equality are almost a taboo now. So this is really this question of conservatism and anti-gender and this movement against gender equality, which indeed politically they are trying to substitute this gender equality by gender justice, where justice is understood rather strangely as treating men and women in accordance with their God-given natures, very much in line with actually religious, faith-based conservatism. So this is very problematic, and actually culture, as some of the presenters have mentioned, is not always very positive, is it? There are some harmful practices in cultures, and the reason why we thought of that name, gender equality cultures, especially to emphasize that. And the original name that we thought of for the chair was Gender Equality and Cultural Obstacles. But then we have kind of softened it and left it as culture. So our chair was established quite recently, actually, in October of 2019. And then, unfortunately, came the pandemic, and we couldn't do as much as we would like to do in terms of projects and activities. So our chair focuses especially on the relation between gender-based problems and culture, and aims to raise awareness in the public arena by bringing perspective on gender equality in line with the purpose of enhancing women's empowerment and well-being by adopting always, of course, the UNESCO's 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development Goals. So on this matter, we do and plan to do not only research and develop projects on a national and international basis by working with governmental and non-governmental organizations, but also work alongside other chairs and twin UNESCO chairs. And hence, this is a great opportunity to get to know one another. I have learned a lot for the last few hours. And we also have in our school a center which was established, inaugurated at the same time, same month, 2019. And UNESCO, this is the Maltepe University Center for Women and Family Studies. We couldn't, again, put the word gender in there because it would be accepted by the Council of Higher Education. So we had to do women, and they have added on family. So you can see how conservatism works, of course. And so we also have another UNESCO chair in our university. It's the chair for philosophy and human rights, and has been established quite a while ago, 2009, and is run by the renowned philosopher Ioanna Kuchuradi. So we have organic ties, actually, both with the center as well as the other UNESCO chair. So furthermore, we also now working on establishing a center for elimination of sexual harassment and sexual abuse, where we are planning to provide legal, psychological, and medical help for victims in order to prevent them from secondary suffering. So this is one of our goals. So as you know, there is this global gender gap report that is published every year by the World Economic Forum. And in accordance with the data of 2021, Turkey is ranked at the 133 out of 156 countries. And so there have been, as I have mentioned, this growing conservatism and political and economic and juridical controversies going on in the country. So this, which affected, of course, women's situation, and pandemic, of course, did not do any good. And many presenters have already spoken about that. And unfortunately, Turkey issued a policy saying that they are withdrawing from Istanbul Convention. As you know, Istanbul Convention is the short version of the name, the Council of Europe Convention on Preventing and Combating Violence Against Women and Domestic Violence. Though there are many legal issues right now going on, this was, of course, a big faux pas on the part of Turkey. So we will see what will go on this issue, whether there will be any step back. We will see in the coming days. So in such turbulent climate that we live in Turkey, our research and projects mostly focus on enlightening the society on gender equality, what we mean by that, and coming up with effective and immediate strategies in fostering women's lives and enhancing their capacities to the fullest. So though, of course, we mostly work as an academic unit, we work on research, we also have ties with various NGOs, and we want to promote and enhance them in future, especially now that the pandemic seems to be reaching its end. So one of the things that we have done is to translate this report by UNESCO and Equal Skill Coalition, which was published in 2019. And the title is, I Would Blush If I Could, Closing Gender Divides in Digital Skills Through Education. And so this report discussing, and I'm sure many of you are already aware of this report, this discusses the strategies of closing gender divides in digital skills through education. And it was very significant, of course, before the pandemic, but as reports show, it becomes more and more urgent to tackle the issue, the women in technology and in digital skills. So we have completed the translation of this report into Turkish, and we hope that soon it will be published. And what have we done? Otherwise, we held an international two-day conference with Society for Women in Philosophy in Turkey under the title Philosophy, Gender, and Social Justice. So we brought together women philosophers of Turkey, which was a quite successful event. There was also a book that came out of that. And something else that we do, and we still are planning, is a conference which is funded by Frederick Ebert Stiftung, Turkey's office. So we organize some workshops, and we are searching to trace the change and transformation of the concept of family in the age of globalization with an interdisciplinary perspective. This is what we want to do. So we wanted to say, in a sense, by one of these first events that we organized, well, you wanted us to speak about family. Well, let us tackle the family. So this is what we want to do. So we will have the conference hopefully in October, and then a book will come out. And another thing that we have done is a qualitative research on the effects of pandemic on working women and working men, which aims to shed light on the diverse effects posed by the pandemic from a gender perspective. And now we are at the stage of writing the report right now. And something else that we have done with the in cooperation with an NGO, with the Turkish Capital Markets Association, will be starting education programs in the field of financial literacy. And the target group are young women in the last semester of undergraduate programs who will soon start new life, and lower middle class working men. And besides that, we also have, of course, other plans. We want to have a gender search program established for undergraduate students in our university. We want to start awards to promote and actually give support to especially PhD students, women PhD students who are working on gender and gender-related issues. And we also like to work with the women refugees and girl refugees, whose number is increasing as we speak. And where our school is located in the district, there are lots of parts of the town where there are refugees are located. So we have plans to work with them as well, with the support of the higher administration of our school. And also some seminars, one of which was by Professor Feride Acar on the CEDAW Convention. And we will, in time due, we will start indeed. We started off, but then pandemic came, so we are planning more of those, and as well as some webinars. So thank you very much for your attention, and thank you.